Hi, my name is Brian Reese and I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada at your Sublimation station. I actually am the CEO of Media Solutions here in Las Vegas, Nevada, your Sublimation station. Now today we're going to talk about the sublimation process and exactly what it takes in order to sublimate a particular substrate or a particular item. And one of the things we have to understand and get past is the limitations that most people place on sublimation. Talking about you can only sublimate white. That's fine if you're only doing t-shirts. But if you're doing bracelets, you can use aluminum. If you're doing glass, there are glass products. You can also use acrylic. There's a lot of different things that you can use, so we can't limit ourselves to the fact that you can only do it on white t-shirts, white and light colored t-shirts, because there are dozens of other things you can use. As a matter of fact, you can see several of them that I've done back here myself. Just take a look and zoom in for you so you can take a look at some of the things that I've done myself. You have your water bottles, you have your hats, you have your mugs, you do have those, you have your bracelets, and a host of other things that you can use. In fact, I even did this for Father's Day in 2018. So this is actually aluminum. This is aluminum. And I actually sublimated on these for all occasions, for special occasions. And if you need a sign, we actually create signs also from metal, aluminum. So I'm here to let you know that it's more than just mugs and t-shirts that you can create with these things. We even make business cards out of aluminum. You want to impress your guests, you want to impress your clients, give them a metal, sublimated, dye sublimated, business card. Yes. We also make these. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Now the first thing we're going to ask ourselves is, what is sublimation? Sublimation is the process of turning a substance directly from a solid to a gas without going through a liquid phase. And as a result of that, you can actually treat a particular item, a substrate like aluminum, okay, with a certain chemical, and then as a result of that, the gas will actually penetrate that particular section or that particular layer of the substrate and create a vibrant image like this. Okay, so it doesn't turn into a liquid, so you don't have to worry about a mess. Okay. But the other thing is this, that a lot of people actually use a toaster oven for sublimating mugs. And now that's a dangerous thing if you plan to use it again. Don't ever use that toaster oven again if you ever sublimate mugs or anything in it, because there may be some residue in there. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to make your family sick. So it's a process, of course, and it's done through a three-step process, which includes heat, pressure, and time. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera this way just for a second so that you can see the heat press. Now it's done in a heat press. A heat press actually covers those three things. It actually gives you heat, it gives you pressure, and you can actually set a timer. And once the timer goes off, you actually can get things like this. Okay, produce. I'm going to show you how to create bracelets. There's a number of bracelets over here that I've created over the last year and a half, 2 years, and they've sold very well. As a matter of fact, this is it right here. This is one. I've also created one with the Las Vegas skyline. You have to understand that you are creating this. You are creating this from scratch. You are turning a piece of metal into a product that they can wear on their wrist. Okay? And to the degree that they're willing to pay for it, you don't want to give away your time and your talent. Let's start out by looking at what we can do and some of the things that we'll need in order to accomplish our goal. One of the things that we'll need for everything that you use is heat tape. You will need heat tape because you don't want to get what's called ghosting. So in order for it to come out perfectly, sometimes you have to set it up where it stays steady, okay, and doesn't move at all. You just tape it down. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. Next thing you need is probably a lint roller, because there's some things that you're going to create, like socks, which I don't have it there, like a hat or something like that, as we call a do-rag, that you may want to create. You want to make sure that you get all the excess lint off of it. Okay? Next thing you want to use also are heat gloves. Heat gloves. Not gloves that are hot, but gloves that keep your hands from getting hot. Okay? Yeah, I know, I'm being funny. So, you go ahead and get a pair of these. Go ahead and get the tape. Go ahead and get the lint roller. And you can also use what's called spray. Now, this kind of spray that you can use, that you can spray on your product also, which you can purchase at one of these locations that I'm going to set up for you. I'll give you a list of in a few minutes. You can just click the link below. Hi, so today we're going to find out how to turn one of these into any one of these. How to create a bracelet. Now these are one of the things that you can actually perform in the dye sublimation process. You can create one of these very simply, very easily. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Now once you open Photoshop, you go ahead and create a design. I've actually made 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Go ahead and open up a new folder, a new page, excuse me. And then you begin to drag the templates of the designs over to your new page. Just drag it all over. There's an arrow. I do know how to do this. And just drag them all over here, and then begin to separate them. You can put, when you're doing bracelets, you do want to do multiple on the page. You don't want to just do one. This is 8.5 by 14. You don't want to just do one, because that would be a lot of wasted paper. Because once you print it out, you can't really use it again. And once you send it over to the printer, then you go ahead and press print. And it's 8.5 by 14, so it's going to take a couple of seconds longer than it would be 8.5 by 11, but not much. But the process is actually pretty smooth. This is actually a sublimation printer. This is not one of the kind you just put together or throw together with some additional ink or change the ink out. This is actually made by a manufacturer. Go ahead and print this puppy out. All right. And send it to the printer. Okay, now that we printed it out, we're going to take it on over to the table, and we're going to take some of the what they call cuff substrates and go ahead and apply it to the sublimation paper itself. Okay, what I'm going to do today is go ahead and show you how to tape this down. If you look at it, I think you can see it from there. Just go ahead and put it on, line it up properly. Okay, around the sides and everything. For the tape around, I'm only going to do one. I'm going to cut it and go ahead and print it so that you can all see it. The lines are just outside of the borders, and I love to see that. Might waste a little bit of ink, but I call it making sure that the client or the customer gets a great print out of this. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and cut this part off, so I can just sublimate the one, because I don't need the other ones at the moment. So we go ahead and do this, and then we cut it. Okay, now that I've cut it, what I want to do is make sure that it's room temperature. I don't want to put an ice cold blank inside of the heat press, because what happens is that it throws the timing off. You don't want it ice cold. So if you have your substrates in a garage, you have it downstairs in the basement, or you're in a warehouse like I am right now, you want to make sure that you cool it down, warm it up to about room temperature, which should be about 65, 70 degrees, something like that. You don't want to put it in there ice cold. I've had a lot of problems with that. That's a tip for me to you. Okay, once it's completed the process, make sure you have your gloves on, which I did not do. Gloves on while it's still baking. Finish the process, and it is no longer sublimating. Go ahead and take this off, and put the paper back. As you can see, if you can see it through the paper, it's done properly. Okay, just going to give you another hint. Go ahead and open it up. That's how it looks once it's done. Let's let it cool down for a few minutes. I'm going to set it on something cold. Set it on these guys right here. Let it cool down for a few minutes. Take the tape off, and then I'll show you how to bend it. All right, now that the substrate is cool, turn the other side so that you can actually see this. What we need to do is take the bending tool. You don't want to bend it yourself like that, because these are easily cracked if you bend them in the wrong direction or wrong way. So you go ahead and put it inside the hook there. Go ahead and bend it over halfway, Go ahead and bend it in the hook again, place it in the hook again, and you bend it like this. Then go ahead and squeeze it together like this until it's circular enough to fit on your wrist. Okay, now let me show you how I put that on. I didn't put it on straight, down like this. I put it off to the side. So if you're putting this on someone's arm, someone's wrist, you don't want to scratch them up, so make sure you slide it from the side. Okay, and then maybe give it a little squeeze, and that's how it looks when you put it on. Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the aluminum plates, okay, the photo plates, and show you how to put an image on a photo plate. Thank you very much. Click the link below. Also subscribe to our channel, and you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, once you've printed it off, once you've taped it with the heat tape, make sure that you have your heat gloves very nearby. Because once you put it inside the platen, or put it inside the press and pull it out, it's going to be very, very, very hot. Okay? So, you have it face up. You use your protective paper. I'm just going to fold this in half because it's only one. Because I want to make sure that that extra ink layer that I have all the way around the substrate doesn't leak onto my platen. Now, this is, I've done it before and I have leaked onto the platen, so I want to let you know that it's not fun. Okay, because what happens is that it affects and impacts everything else that you do. So you want to make sure that you cover top and bottom. It's been a while, so I've gotten it off, so it's just doing great, but you don't want to have that problem. So you go ahead, face up, okay, or the sublimation paper up, and go ahead and close it down, and we'll be back right after it's done.